exes pop back up, they really don't be understanding that the person that they used to talk to, used to date, used to love is not exactly the same person anymore. Hey roomies, I'm Jasmine Emerald, and today I'm bringing to you guys a McDonald's mukbang. I also have a topic to discuss as well. So I'm really proud of myself because I made this. This is kind of like a quarter pounder with cheese. But I put the pickles on the side because I always like to eat the pickles last. Not gonna hold y'all. The fries are in the back because they're a little burnt. I don't know if I'm gonna put a picture in. I tried. Obviously, my fries got nothing against McDonald's. But the burger, I make good burgers. So I'm really happy. And I know y'all probably wondering, why didn't you go to McDonald's? Girl, I'm on a budget. Maybe I'll put the cost of how much everything like was to make it in comparison to like a combo, but yeah. But God is great, God is good. Let's thank for our food bars. Y'all are fed. Thank you all for daily bread. Name Jesus, pray, amen. Yeah, the fries, I'm so glad I put ketchup on this because ain't no way. But I told y'all in a previous mukbang that I would be doing homemade fast food meals because I am on a budget and I really don't like, I don't know, I just don't like wasting money, bro. Especially if it's something I could make for myself way cheaper at home. I love potatoes, oh my gosh. And these are just fries that I got from the frozen section of Walmart. Get that. That looks so good. Y'all want a bite? Looks so freaking good to me. Oh my god. See, look, the mayo, ketchup, mustard just falling all out. That tastes so good, man. Hey, look at that cheese just falling off. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so hungry. I would have started talking, but I hate when I get burgers under my nails. that fry was a little burnt. How y'all doing today? I forgot to ask. So freaking hungry. Man. Oh, I forgot to say, I made a quarter pounder deluxe. My bad. Also, I mentioned before, but let me know if you guys like no talking videos or if you like when I'm talking and have a conversation. I like mukbangs with conversations, so pickles are so good. And I don't know why, but I love to eat them last. I don't like eating them with the burger. I don't know why I do that. There's just something about them. Like, I love regular cucumbers, and then I love pickles. Dill pickles, though. I only like sweet relish and like tuna fish or potato salad. I don't like it on hot dogs or anything. But in this, it's just a little water bottle. I got this water bottle from Amazon. I'll leave a link to it down below. It came in a set of 4, and I want to say it was like under $15. I'm not sure though. I can't remember. And that was so freaking good. So the topic of the day is what bad advice is disguised as good advice. So someone said everything happens for a reason. I completely agree. Well, I don't really think this is advice. Well, I guess it could be advice for like acceptance, but the thing that gets me is I really don't like stuff like that, because sometimes people will say that like about somebody dying, or they'll say it about a really bad situation, like someone getting a disease or something like that, and it's like, I don't really think everything happens for a reason. Sometimes I think just stuff just happens. But I'm also a person where my philosophy is, and I'm not going to push religion on anybody, but I'm a Christian, right? And my philosophy is, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, why did God let this happen? Or, you know, why did such and such happen? And from my understanding, because, you know, religion is open for interpretation, I feel like the reason why bad things happen is because of what other people have done. And what I mean by that is we're all people. We're put here for a reason, right? And the thing is we are put here to help each other, in my opinion. I feel like all of us humans, we're supposed to come together, help each other. We're not supposed to be thinking singularly. We're supposed to be working together, I won't say living in harmony, but it's a way for all of us to live together and have our means to survive without anybody suffering. There are ways to fix these things, yeah? Now, what I feel like is some people in power, or some people over the course of time, every single day, some people are very selfish, and some people take it upon themselves to do cruel things, to do things that mess up systems, to do things where lots of people are in poverty, or people die from hunger. And I feel like, you know, some people, they'll blame it on God, but a lot of times it's like God works through people, and I do believe that we are supposed to work together, and God is trying to like see if we will do stuff together, because he's, you know how everybody has free will, it's kind of like he's giving us a chance to make things better. Now, whether those people make things better or not, completely different story. And I know you guys are going to be like, well, why is it that, you know, good people suffer, or good things happen to good things happen to bad people, or bad things happen to good people? And it's like, honestly, I feel like that's what it is. It's like a circle of life where it's going to be a whole bunch of awful people who make it worse for everybody else. And that's why we have all these diseases that can't be cured, or if they can be cured, they cost a lot of money. It's a lot of capitalism. And yeah, you could say that God could step in, but I do feel like, again, because we have free will to do things, it's more like we're supposed to work together because the resources are here. Now, if we don't want to work together, it's like that's on us in so many words. And it sucks, but that's when you have to collectively look at things and you realize that a lot of people aren't ethical, a lot of people are moral, a lot of people are only thinking about themselves. And don't get me wrong, sometimes things can get better, sometimes things can turn out for the better, but, you know, I won't say, I guess to some degree that does sound like everything happens for a reason, but sometimes life just be lifing, bro. Life just be lifing. I feel like I just went on a little ramble, but yeah, sometimes life just be lifing and you just don't know. Like, you really just don't know what could happen. And yeah. So someone said, there are people going through worse. Just be grateful. I absolutely hate this saying so freaking much because everyone has problems, okay? Everyone is going through stuff. And the levels of ranking is very subjective per person, okay? And don't get me wrong, there are situations that obviously are way more worse, but it's like, saying that feels like you are discrediting the way somebody feels, or basically not acknowledging the way somebody feels. People can all feel negatively about something or feel down about something, but that doesn't mean you have to put down how they feel or be like, yeah, there are other problems out there. Touch grass. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie, you know, sometimes, you know, if somebody is too focused on the issue, sure, it makes sense to be like, touch grass, you know, if you lost a notebook or something. But it's like, I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. I'm so sleepy. I am so freaking sleepy. But no, it's like, you don't have to put down somebody else's feelings just because other people in the world are going through something. It's okay to acknowledge that, yeah, you're going through something. I'm sorry you're going through something. You don't have to be like, girl, you know, your problem's not that deep. Other people out here going through stuff. It's like, okay, other people are going through stuff, but so am I right now. You know what I mean? Someone said never go to bed angry. And they were like, sometimes a good sleep is all you need to realize the argument wasn't important. So, I halfway agree with this. I do halfway agree with this. It just really depends. I feel like people say, or the times where I've heard people say never go to bed angry, they were referring to like people they love, they would get mad at them, and then something would potentially happen where they didn't really get to talk to them or see them again, like they died. And me personally, I believe in not going to bed angry because I'm one of those people that holds on to stuff personally. Like, I need to handle things and squash my feelings that same day I get them. Otherwise, they fester. Like, I don't, and you know, and it could be because I don't really get mad about much. I don't really feel strongly negatively about much. So when I do feel negative, I feel it. And everybody else feels it too. Like, I can actually make a whole room feel negative. I don't know what it is, and I think it's just because, again, I'm pretty much a happy person for the most part. I normally don't feel bad. So it's just it just really depends, because for me, I don't like going to bed angry. Other people might need to take a nap, sleep on it. But normally my feelings tend to be very logical, where it's like there is merit, there is reasoning, there is fact behind why I feel the way that I feel, and I can break it down. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can break that shit down. But yeah, if I go to sleep angry, I'm still gonna wake up upset. That's just how I am. And I'm a harbor on it and fester on it until I talk about it. Because I'm a very direct person. So I have to address my feelings directly. I can't hold on to stuff. I think the only time where I let stuff go and I just move on is like if it's dealing with someone I know that's not going to change. So it's one thing if someone does something bad to me and I'm looking at them like, what the F, like this blindsided me. It's another thing if somebody did something to me and then I know how they are and they did this before, or I've seen them do it to other people, because then it's like, okay, I ignore the red flags. That's on me. I'm going to be upset, obviously, but I'm going to probably let that anger go, and I'm going to just be looking at me like, girl, you saw that this was going to potentially happen. So remove yourself from this person's life. You know, say your piece. But at that point, I'm more than likely accepted things. And I don't even want to talk about, like, any negative emotions. At that point, I'm just done. But that's how I operate with my emotions. When I was younger, it used to be very hard for me to let stuff go. When it came to, like, relationships and stuff. And I would have hope for things to go the way that I would have liked them to, especially when it came to dating. So if I was upset, I couldn't stay upset very long. It was a very momentary thing, and it would pass, and I would forgive people. I was very easy to forgive, but then I got older, and now I'm like, I can forgive people, but you don't get any more chances. I'm very much like, you stay over there. So I don't know, I think it just depends on the person, because I have seen some people get angry at stuff that I personally thought was stupid, or they would get angry at a person that kept doing stuff and showing them red flags, and then I would just be looking at them like, I mean, you're angry at this person, but they showed you who you are. But I don't know. It just depends on the person, you know? Some people need to take a nap and then they feel better about the situation. Some people are similar to me, where like if they rarely get angry and they do get angry, they need to handle that right when they're angry. Otherwise, it's still gonna be there. And I'm not a person that likes to hang on to negative emotions. I need to get that junk out, say however I feel, and then I'm done. After I'm done, I'm like, cool, it's whatever now. But depending on what I said, I'm like, either I'm done with you, or I'll be like, I'll give you another chance, but don't you dare do it again. If you do it again, I'm not even upset at that point. At that point, I'm like, I'm done with you. We no longer talking ever again in life. But that's how I operate. So someone said, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And someone else's response was, one way to make you hate your hobby. Not everything needs to be a hustle. And I'm like, that right there, because so this is the thing too. So I'll give y'all an example. I would love to do YouTube full time, yeah? Because it would be really fun just to be able to hop on here, talk about whatever I want to talk about, eat food, and get paid to do it. Dream job. But at the same time, it's like, YouTube is kind of a hobby too for me, because it's a way I can talk about different things I'm interested in that I might not be able to talk to with other people, or I may feel like, other people may get annoyed when we talk about certain things. So I'm like, absolutely love having YouTube here to just be a place where I could have like a little vocal box, But if I were to do YouTube full time, I know I've seen so many videos where creators would be like, I absolutely love YouTube as my hobby, but now it's pretty much like my job, and then they would fall off. And for me personally, I kind of already see YouTube as kind of like a job a little bit. I'm trying to show up consistently, but it's like a job that's not that bad, you know what I mean? I think the only thing that makes YouTube irritating for me is the fact that editing takes a long time. That's literally the main thing that bothers me, or the fact that I never know what people are really interested in talking about initially. So it's like, I don't know, it's a weird balance. And within people being like, find something that you love and then you'll never work a day in your life, it's like, no, because if something you love becomes your job, then you have to do it. It's no longer a hobby, like something you do for fun. If that makes sense, it's like, I have to do this because I survive off making this, and if I don't do it, it's no longer I can just do it just because. It's now I do it to survive, Someone also said, this advice is actually great if what you love is already being born into immense wealth. Completely agree. If you have the money to already support your hobbies or your lifestyle, then it's like, it doesn't apply as much because you can fund your life. Someone said, money can't buy happiness. Agreed. Because I'm not going to hold you. Money would relieve a lot of stress for a lot of people. And stress is what causes problems, illnesses, diseases, and stuff. So it's like, if I had money to support myself completely and have extra money for entertainment purposes, I would be completely happy, because it's like, I'm not stressed out about debt. I can pay off my student loans. I can pay off my bills. I'm not pressed about, worried about that. If something happens where I have to pay an extra bill, I can afford to do so. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to live. I don't have to worry about, stuff getting cut off. I don't have to worry about being in debt and having bad credit if I miss a payment. I can afford to eat certain foods to treat myself when I'm feeling down. I can afford to have a hobby that I really enjoy, to do some stress relief. It's like, having extra money can bring you so much. You could take more vacations. People could get homes, get better cars that they don't have to worry about breaking down, blowing up on them. It's just so much. People could go to their doctor and get checkups and get the health care that they need. It's like whoever said that, girl, it's like, you've never been poor. You've never been broke. You've never had to truly struggle. Like, be for real. Someone said, it's rude to discuss wages with your coworkers. And then someone said, we don't want you to realize we're underpaying you. This is completely true. That is the main reason why, a lot of companies do not want you to discuss what your wages are, because then it's like, oh, that means we got to pay everybody the same amount or around the same amount, versus underpaying a lot of people like minorities and stuff like that. Someone said, go to college or you'll end up working a crap job the rest of your life. Bro, it's the thing for me is the fact that you go to college and get this degree. And a lot of people aren't even doing work or working in the fields that they went to college for, right? Then it's the factor that, let's say you get a job that requires you to have a degree and they only paying you $10 an hour. How are you supposed to survive off that? Then you gotta get more than one job to support your life. Then you tired. Then you stressed. It's like, when I was younger, I always thought that having a college degree meant I would only have to work one job. Or it meant that I could be able to work a job, sustain my way of life, and have leftover money for savings, for miscellaneous things that could potentially happen, and then just to have fun with. But it's like, with the way the economy is, girl, I low-key probably shouldn't even got my degree. Like, I really been, like, sometimes I would just sit here, and I was so delusional when I really thought that they was gonna forgive my student loans. I should have known, but it just really behooves me that, you know, you go to college, get your degree, and I wish somebody would have informed me the way student loans work, because I hate paying student loans. I absolutely hate paying student loans. When you pay a student loan off, you know, it hits your credit score negatively, which does not make sense. And it just, then it's all the interest accruing. Honestly, I could have just not got a degree, if I'm being completely real with y'all. I did not need it. I really did not need it. Someone said all debt is bad, which isn't true, because if you get a house, it's very helpful to have a house because it's like collateral in general. And having a house, being the owner of anything is always helpful. And if you have debt and you pay it off, you could get more credit, like if you got a credit card and stuff like that. Someone said, regarding relationships, someone has said, love is all you need. Completely BS. When it comes to relationships, honestly, I don't be feeling like a lot of people are in love. I feel like people are in love with the idea, or people like the concept of being with someone, but they aren't exactly in love with them. I feel like a lot of people like people conditionally. They might be infatuated. They like the idea of someone. But I don't really think a lot of people are in love. They may love that person. And that's another thing. You gotta think about the fact that, are you loving that person, or are you in love with that person? Is it both? Do you love them just like, you know, a significant other, or do you love them like your friend as well? That's another thing too. I feel like so many relationships end and don't work out because people aren't friends. That's another discussion though. I could create a whole video about that. Someone said, there's someone for everyone. So I don't think there's somebody for everybody. I really don't. Just because, well, actually, I feel like there could be, but whether you get with them is on you. Yeah, that's what it is. I feel like there are multiple people that you could be with. So, for example, I told you I believe in a video before. I don't believe in soulmates. I believe there are multiple different people you could end up with just because there's a lot of people on this planet. And then you got to factor in that some people may be a part of LGBTQ community. You know, it's like there are options. And I feel like, you know, soulmates are subjective. And there are so many different people. You could be sitting next to your potential husband on a bus or standing in line at the grocery store. Shoot, the person dropping off your DoorDash could be your potential person. Like, you just don't know. But you really have to think about it because of a lot of people perceptions in society about how somebody should look, or what type of car somebody should be driving, or how much money they should be making, or the type of dating advice that's all amok on social media, where people are like, you should have $100 dates, and it's stuff like that, where people have these group think pieces. I feel like because of all this, honestly, I feel like because of social media, the way society is, how people share these different ideas, I feel like social media is kind of what hurts people's chances of meeting somebody, because so many people feel like they're validated in how they feel. But sometimes the way you think could be wrong, or could be immoral. Like, I know every now and then I see tweets talking about how it's okay to just up and leave someone for whatever dumb reason. Like, sometimes it doesn't make sense, and I'm just sitting there, and a tweet will have like 30K likes, and people will believe it. They're like, well, Twitter says. And trust me, like, people definitely will believe if so many people are on the same page. They think it's morally okay. And I know, because I've met so many people who will be like, well, other people would agree with me. And it's like, just because other people agree with you doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't make it correct. But what are you going to do? But yeah, I don't think there's somebody for everybody. Just because I feel like, a lot of people make bad choices in life. Some people don't know how to have relationships. Some people don't even want relationships. Some people are talking to the wrong people and are missing out on a couple of different people they could have been with. It's just so many variables. Like, some people just end up alone just because of the choices they made in past partners, seeing red flags, ignoring them, then wasting years on this person. It's just so many factors where it's like, you can say it's somebody for everybody, but it's truly up to you if you gonna find somebody. And then there's also the factor that some people are with people they shouldn't be with. Some people that are trash. Some people that are narcissistic. Some people that don't do right by them, that are cheating on them, but they still have somebody. That does not mean that they are meant to be with them, Then someone said, you do you. Yeah, so I've heard a lot of people say that you should focus on you. And I feel like a lot of people misconstrue what this means, or interpret it as I should be completely selfish. There is nothing wrong with being kind to others. And people definitely take you do you, or focus on you as be completely selfish, don't be kind to anybody, which I feel like is a big problem in itself. But a lot of people are on that energy nowadays. It's really unfortunate. Someone said, follow your dreams. I'm not gonna lie. To be completely honest, when people say follow your dreams, it's like, if you don't know the steps, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the connections, it is honestly very difficult to follow your dreams. You can attempt, and sometimes some people will succeed. Some people are meant to do certain things, but I think you have to be realistic about your dreams and actually plan how you're going to make those steps to reach your dreams, And you also have to remember that sometimes your dreams will not happen within your 20s, 30s. Sometimes they can happen later in life too. So I feel like follow your dreams is a toss-up. It just really depends on who you are as a person, as well as your resources. Someone said, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it was never meant to be. Yeah, I don't like this saying at all. I think the main reason I don't like this saying is because I had a couple of guys use this as a reason to let me go so that they could cheat. Not cheat, but talk to other people. Or people would say that thinking like, oh, the universe will bring us together if it's meant to be, and then they'll pop back up years later and I'll ignore them or block them because I'm like, one thing about me, I'm gonna move on. Like, I'm telling y'all, I am definitely one of those people. And I feel like everybody should take this out of my book, okay? If you're dating and you're interested in building with somebody, y'all may not have everything together, but it's okay because you want to build with this person, yeah? If that's what y'all gonna do it, right? But sometimes I feel like some people are not ready for relationships, so they kind of want to leave the door open so that if they potentially want to come back, they can. And I've had a couple of guys do this to me where they would say, I was a great girl, amazing girl, the one that they would want to settle down with, but they want to live life. And at the time, of course, I was sad about it. But I'm like, I can't control what people do. If you don't want to be with me right now, okay. And many of those guys would want me to wait for them, thinking I would be focused on them. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes in my early 20s, in my teens, I would be like, I'll wait for you. Did I wait? Hell no, I did not. I did not wait at all. I probably gave somebody 2 or 3 months and then I was out of there. I was like, oh. And I think the thing was, because I always found out they were talking to somebody else, and then that would trigger me to be like, so you're not focusing on yourself, you're focusing on other women. Yeah, I'm not. And I feel like they did not understand that. I'm like, why would you have me wait for you when you talking to other women? Make that make sense, because that's not adding up. And I remember some men would get mad at me, like they would pop back up years later, months later, and they would be mad at me. They would be so upset because they would find out that I was with somebody else or had moved on. And I'm looking like, I know for a fact you've been boinking multiple women. And it would be so hilarious because they would just be looking at me like it wasn't a problem. And I'm looking like, I'm sorry, but when I said I was going to wait for someone, I thought you were waiting for me too. Like when you said you was going to focus on you, I'm thinking you're focused on you. You're going to not be doing anything with anyone else. Like, and then they're mad at me because I end up getting in a relationship months, years later. I'm committed to somebody else, and it's like, and it's crazy because some people would send me emails or send me long messages because I blocked them on other social media, and they would be telling me all this stuff about how they felt, and I would just send them to spam. I would send them to spam, or I would delete, and I would not acknowledge them because I'm like, I feel like people don't understand. One thing about me is once a chapter has closed, like if I like somebody and they remove themselves from my life, I'm like, you don't want me. I'm instantly like, you don't want me, you don't want to be with me. And I cut emotions. I don't know what it is, but I detach. I'm like, bet you don't want me, severed. And it'll never return the same way. And I know because when I was younger, I had a few relationships where I would end up trying to, redate my ex. I think I had like 2 exes I tried to redate. And I did not feel anything. I was like, I am so sorry, but yeah, I do not feel the same way. And I feel like people did not understand that I was a completely different person. I feel like that's something that people don't understand. Like when exes pop back up, they really don't be understanding that the person that they used to talk to, used to date, used to love is not exactly the same person anymore. Because I know for me, my exes would pop back up for years and I would ignore them. Well, as I got older, I ignored them. When I was younger, I would entertain. Like, I would be like, oh, hey, how you doing? And they'd be like, let's be friends. Lying. But I really was gullible. I would believe they wanted to just be my friend, but it was no. They were trying to fill me out to see if they could rekindle something. And every time, I'm like, I feel nothing. Like, I don't feel nothing bad towards you. You know, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing better than you were. I hope you find somebody new that treats you the way you wanted to be treated, because it's not me. Like, I don't feel anything for you. You know? And I feel like they just didn't understand that or perceive, like they didn't perceive why things were like that. And it's like, I mean, I'm a different person. Like, I really don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, you can attempt to return back to an ex, but they probably not going to be the same exact person. Something about their mindset is probably different. Or I know for me, that's how my mind was. Like, I was a completely different person. I feel like I grow a little bit every year. But I know now, at this age, I feel like I am more set in my ways. I have a fiance now, but it's like, I will say with my fiance, this is the most I've ever grown. I feel like I said this in a video too, but yeah. People change, people grow, and you need to find someone that's going to grow with you and not waste your time. I don't know what it is, but whenever I'm down here, I be feeling like I gotta sneeze. So someone said, just be yourself. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not a good one. And they were like, no, be better. And I completely agree. You gotta, grow, gotta become a better version of yourself. Because people will be like, oh, just be yourself, they'll like you. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes people just don't mess with you, don't vibe with you. And that's okay. Sometimes you need to find other people who resonate with you. And then sometimes you're the problem. I'm just saying, sometimes other people be the problem. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. So YouTube's been recommending me a lot of I don't have friends YouTube videos, right? Now, this is an unpopular opinion. It's nothing against those people who have made these videos. Because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of people who have friends, a lot of them be shady about the way that they move, be lying about stuff, aren't they true selves, be having yes men friendships, stuff like that. Now, I will say, when it comes to people having no friends at all, me personally, sorry, I'm blowing my nose. Me personally, I look at people very suspiciously if they tell me they don't have friends. Especially, like, it's one thing if you're an introvert and you don't have any friends. But it's another thing if you constantly fall out with people. Consistently. Like, I feel like it's something wrong with you personally if you are steadily getting into it with people. And don't get me wrong, because some of these videos people have said people were jealous of me. And I can completely get that, because I have met, different women where sometimes there will be some jealousy issues going on. However, I will say, maybe you haven't found your tribe yet. It also depends how old you are. But I do feel like you should have some sort of friendships, whether it's like family friendships, like with cousins, siblings, some. Because to me, I'm like, you don't have nobody around you. No family, no friends, no nothing. I'm looking at you sideways instantly. Because to me, I'm thinking there's something wrong with you. I'm not going to hold you. Now, I mean, if you don't have any family, that's different. But I feel like it's something to be said about somebody that has absolutely nobody. It's like what are you doing? Like, not everybody can be against you. And I'll even take this. So, I've met some girls in the past who would tell me, you're really cool. Like, I don't really have that many female friends, but I would like to be cool with you. And to me, that's a red flag. I personally feel like that's a red flag because I'm like, why is it such a problem that you have an issue or every woman has an issue with you? And the women who would end up sharing this information with me, I ended up falling out with them, but it wasn't because I had a problem with them necessarily, like, as far as, like, jealousy or anything. I ended up realizing that they had actual issues, like, I don't want to say mental issues, but it was like, they would do stuff to people in a vindictive or mean way, and they would wonder why, or play the victim like, I didn't do anything wrong. Everyone has an issue with me. And it's like, girl, no, you're being mean. Or, girl, you're doing stuff that's unethical or immoral to people, you know? And again, I'm not saying everybody's like that because everybody's life situations are different, especially during quarantine and the pandemic. Very hard to make bonds, relationships, and stuff. But it's something to be said about somebody that constantly falls out with people. I don't care what anybody says. Every person that I have met within my 30-something years that has had issues with other people where they constantly fell out, there was something going on with them. I don't know what it is, but it was always something going on. It could have been they made bad choices and they people that they kept in their space. It could have meant, you know, they played victim and they were self-sabotaging. They could have been crazy. It could have been a variety of things, but I just felt like, to me, it's a red flag when somebody approached me and they like, I don't have any female friends, let's be friends. Or I don't really have any friends, let's be friends. Because I'm instantly like, nah, you good. Because me, of all people, I am a very introverted person. I keep to myself, but I can still maintain friendships. But it's also because I'm a distant person too. I feel like I maintain most of my friendships because I'm distant from everybody, if I'm completely honest. But at the same time, no. Like, a lot of the people that I'm cool with. I don't know. It's just very telling to me if somebody legit is like falling out with people. Like, it's another thing if you don't go anywhere, you don't meet people, you don't know how to talk to people because you have social anxiety. I get that because I have social anxiety too. But to be like, I don't have any friends because people always have an issue, or I always have people jealous of me, or it's always somebody else is the problem, I'm always going to look at those people sideways because I'm like, so you fell out with every single one of your friends? Like, every time? And again, it depends how old you are. Like, if you 40-something telling me this, I'm looking at you like, girl, something wrong with you. If you in your early 20s saying that, I'm like, okay, you know, you gonna lose some friendships, you know what I mean? People are still figuring stuff out. But being 38 plus and not having no friends is crazy to me. But yeah, that's my little TED Talk for today. Let me know in the comments down below, like, what sayings have you guys heard that you don't agree with? What quotes? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Let me know how you guys like this quarter pounder with cheese with fries, McDonald's Mukbang. I know I'm going to be doing some other fast food mukbangs, so stay on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys check out my mukbang playlist because I do talk about other topics. Check out my dating advice playlist, as well as the other playlists that I do have. They'll be linked in the description box down below. But without further ado, I'll be seeing you guys really soon, so stay blessed, stay positive.